Namaste guys, welcome back to YogaCandi. I'm Candice and today I have a 30-minute beginner's backbending flow. Anybody can join in on this, but I just want to first of all say that if anything feels really painful, if anything doesn't feel right for your body, then please come out of the pose and just either sit back in a comfortable seat and wait for the next position, or take a child's pose. Really, there's no stress here. Don't put stress on the body. Listen to the body. I think I'm going to be quiet now and let's begin.
Alright everybody, today's going to be a beginner flow, a little bit of back bending. I'd like you all to have a couple of props ready. Perhaps sit yourself up on a pillow, have a small towel rolled up ready in case you need that. You can have a blanket handy as well, rolled up. These are not necessary for the flow today, but they do help with getting you into certain poses, especially blocks or books. So perhaps try to at least have some books ready by the side. Okay, so get yourself into a comfortable seat of your choice. Let's just take a moment here. Close your eyes, place your hands on your knees and just start to breathe naturally. Feel that natural rise and fall of your chest as you breathe in and out. Try to stay present during this whole workout today. If you find your mind starting to drift, just bring your mind back to the breath. Bring your attention to your body and to the breath. Don't try to stop any thoughts that come into your mind. Instead, just don't pay them any attention and let them pass naturally. Bring your hands into prayer at heart center, bow your head, and thank yourself for showing up on the mat today. Namaste. Let's begin. If you were sitting on a pillow, just put it aside for a moment. Come onto all fours, knees hip distance apart and your hands shoulder distance apart. As you breathe in, drop your belly and look up towards the sky. As you breathe out, arch the back, push your shoulder blades apart and feel the space between each vertebrae in your back. Breathe in, look up. Breathe out and arch. Breathe in, look up. Breathe out, arch your back. Breathe in and look up, dropping the belly. Breathe out, arch the back and tuck the tailbone. Do this again in your own time, at your own pace, following the breath. When you're ready, sit back and bring your hands a little bit forward and push your hips up and back into downward facing dog. Your hands should still be around shoulder distance apart, and don't worry if your heels do not touch the floor. That will come with time and flexibility. Just try to be as comfortable as you can in this position. It might not feel like it now, but eventually it'll feel like a relaxing position. Roll forward into plank, and then back into downward facing dog. Roll forward into plank. Just hold that and then roll back into downward facing dog. Walk your dog out, warming up those hamstrings. And then we're going to do this again. Wave forward into plank. Hold this for a moment. Take some deep breaths and then drop your knees. We're going to come down into chaturanga. And then come up into a baby cobra. Push it as high as you would like to take it. So very slight back bend. Come back down, push yourself up into plank and then back into downward facing dog. Take your dog for a walk again. And then take a very slow walk to the front of the mat. Come into a forward fold with your knees bent and just hang there. If you want to, you can straighten out your legs depending on your flexibility. Either way, hang and enjoy, keeping your belly engaged and your neck heavy. You can rock the top of your body back and forth, yes and no. Find what feels good and do whatever your body is asking of you. Roll your spine all the way up to mountain, slowly. Once you're there, raise your hands up to the sky, look up at your palms, bend your hips forward a little bit for a slight back bend, and bring your hands into heart center. Breathe in, hands up, breathe out. And place your hands on your sacrum, which is just below your lower spine. Bend backwards, holding on to there, but don't force this. It can be a very gentle back bend. No need to push it today. Breathe in, look up at your palms, breathe out, come back into forward fold. This can be with your legs straight or with your legs bent. There's no competition here today. Grab your elbows and just allow yourself to hang. Breathe in, look halfway. Breathe out, step your right foot back into a lunge. And just stretch that out by bouncing your hips up and down. When you're ready, step the other foot back into plank. Lower your knees and come down into the chaturanga. Bending your elbows, keeping it close to your body. Come up into Cobra. You can push it all the way up into a full Cobra. If you're not there yet, that's fine. Keep it at a baby Cobra or midway. Just as high as you want to take it. Come back down. Push yourself up using your core into downward facing dog. Walk your feet out once again. And just hold this for a moment, then walk forward, back into your forward fold. Slowly, slowly. Drop all your weight down and allow yourself to give in to gravity. Add a little movement if you would like to, or stay still. Breathe in, halfway lift, and then come all the way up. Lift your arms up to the sky, bend forward, pushing your hips forward, and pulling your hands into heart center. Again, place your hands onto your hips or your sacrum. We're going to take another back bend. Just pushing your hips forward, lifting your chest up towards the sky, and come back forward again. Breathe in, look up at your palms, breathe out and come down into your forward fold. Breathe in, halfway lift, keeping your back straight, placing your hands either above or below your knees, or even on the floor or on your shins, wherever feels comfortable. Come back into your forward fold and just hang there for a moment. Perhaps move your legs out, straightening one, bending the other. Bend your legs, place your hands on the floor and step that left foot back. Bounce your hips in this lunge. And then come back into plank. Hold that for a couple of breaths. It's a beautiful core strengthener, this. And then lower your knees. Let's take it down into chaturanga, bringing your arms down. Just have a little moment here on the floor, and then push yourself up into Cobra. You can come into full Cobra as I'm doing, or bend your elbows and just do a very mini micro back bend. If you want to, look back at one foot and the other. Enjoy this back bend for a moment, and when you're ready, come back down to the floor. Bring your hips up and back into downward facing dog. Suck in that belly, keep that core engaged the whole way through this workout today. Lift your right leg up. Don't worry if you can't lift it very high. Bring it in towards your chest and step it between your feet, as light as you can. Step it between your hands, should I say. And then drop that back knee, and we're going to come into a low lunge this time. Pressing your hips forward. Raise your arms up, breathe in. Maybe take a slight back bend here. If you want to, you can use your books or your blocks. Place them on either side of that back knee. This is going to help you get into this back bend a bit deeper if you would like to try it out. Placing your palms on your blocks or your book. Open your shoulders, push your chest up, push your hips forward, and look up at the sky. It's great training for getting you into some back bending moves. Stay here, feeling that lovely stretch through the outside of that thigh. Then come forward, pushing your hips backwards into a half split position. If this is too intense for you, you can keep your hands up on the blocks. From your half split sits, come back into a high lunge this time. Keeping your hands on your front knee, and then reach them up to the sky, looking up at your palms. Take another back bend, very micro. Bringing your hands down back to the floor on either side of that foot, and stepping the other foot back between your palms. Back into your forward fold. Work those legs out for a moment, and then just hang there, enjoying the stretch through your hamstrings. Breathe in, halfway lift, come all the way up, hands to the sky. Do another micro back bend if it's possible for you, and your hands to your heart center. Lift your left leg up, step over to the side with your legs as far apart as you would like. Place your hands back into your sacrum and lean all the way back, pushing your hips forward. And then lean forward, coming into a wide-legged forward fold. Keeping your left hand on the ground, keeping your back straight. Lift your right arm up towards the sky and look at your fingertips. And place your right arm on the floor. Look up at your left hand. Placing your left hand back down onto the floor. Walk over to the right leg, back into your high lunge, arms up to the sky, look at your hands, maybe take a micro back bend if this feels comfortable for you, hands back down to the floor. We're going to step back into downward facing dog with one leg in the air and place that foot back down on the floor. Walk your legs out for a moment. Wave forward into plank. Hold it. Enjoy the strengthener. Knees back down into chaturanga. All the way to the belly. Come up into baby cobra or full cobra. Really pushing your hips forward, your chest up towards the sky. Look at one foot, look at the other. Come back down onto the floor. Send your hips up, back into downward facing dog. Walk your dog out once again. Now lift up that left leg up into the sky as high as you can. Don't worry if it's not very high. Bring it in towards your chest and place it between your palms. Don't worry if that didn't happen very gracefully. Place that knee back onto the floor into your low lunge. Your hands up onto your front knee. Feel free to use your blocks once again to help you get into this back bend. Place them either side of the back knee, or a little closer to the hips, wherever it feels most comfortable for you. Place your palms onto the blocks or books and bend backwards, pushing your hips forward, your chest up towards the sky. If possible, try without the blocks, lifting your hands up towards the sky. Whatever feels more comfortable for you. Listen to your body. If you're feeling pain, come out of it and just stay in your low lunge. Let's send those hips back into our half splits. Really feeling through those hamstrings. Come down as low as you can. And place your blocks or your books over to the side. Come back up into your high lunge, placing your hands on your front knee. Raise your arms up into the sky, looking at your fingertips. Bend backwards ever so slightly. When you're ready, place your hands on the floor and step that right foot between your palms once again for another forward fold. Don't forget your knees can be bent here. Don't feel pressure. Just let yourself hang, remembering to keep your core engaged. Grabbing onto your legs wherever you can. Maybe even pull yourself in a little further into this position as long as it's not painful. Roll your spine all the way back up to standing. Raise your arms up towards the sky, look at your palms, bring it into heart center and lift your right leg up. Hold it for a moment, bring it back and let's step back into another wide-legged forward fold. Before we fold, place your hands onto your hips or your sacrum. Bend backwards, only go as far as is comfortable. Hold it for a moment. And then let's dip forward, keeping your back as straight as possible, palms onto the floor. You can either stay here or raise that right arm up towards the sky, look at your fingertips, keeping your back as straight as you can. Remember to keep breathing into the sensations. Place that palm onto the floor and then the left arm up to the sky. Look up at your fingertips. And take that back down to the ground, and now just allow your head to fall forward. Bring your hands kind of in line with your feet. If this is too much for you, use your blocks or your books and come up onto them. If not, just stay here and let yourself hang there. Let gravity do its trick. When you're ready, come up halfway, put your hands on your hips and stand up straight using the strength of your legs. Bend deeply into that left leg, keeping the right leg straight. Lift your arms up, look at your palms, or look up at the ceiling. Bend back slightly, hands back down to the floor. We're going to step back into your three-legged downward dog. If this is too much, just do a normal downward facing dog. Walk your legs out, walk your dog. Take a couple of breaths here, sucking your belly in. And then wave forward into plank. Just hold plank for a moment, remembering to engage your core. Then lean forward in your own time. Place your knees on the floor, lean forward, tucking your elbows in towards the body and coming all the way down to the floor. Either into baby cobra, a little bit higher, or full cobra. Look up towards the sky. and enjoy that back bend. And send your hips all the way back into child's pose. Allow your forehead just to fall onto your mat, your arms by the sides of your thighs. Just take a moment here to relax, to breathe, and to allow what you've just done to sink in. Become very heavy in this position and allow yourself to sink into the mat. When you're ready, stretch your arms forward. And then bring yourself back up. Come up onto your shins with your legs hip distance apart. Your feet flat onto the floor. You can always put your toes onto the floor so that your heels are more raised up. We're going to do Camel Pose now. Bring one arm backwards onto your block or onto your book. Place them either side of your ankles. And just bend forward, pushing your hips forward and your chest up towards the sky. You can allow your head to just flop backwards. And just enjoy this back bend. If this is painful for you, then just come out of it. If you would like to go a bit deeper, then you can always try to grab your ankles, the outside of your feet, and bend backwards. Don't force your body to do anything it's not ready to do. All of this will come in time. The more you practice, the easier it will become. Using one arm, bring it forward, and then the other one. Wiggle it out a minute. Come back down onto your heels for a moment. Let's take another child's pose. Forehead on the floor and your arms beside your body. Become very heavy and breathe into the back body. Feeling that gentle curve of the spine. Be present and be grateful for where you are right now. Come back up and just widen your knees as wide as the mat, maybe even just slightly wider. Bring your hands all the way forward and perhaps you can place your chin onto the floor. If not, place your forehead. If you can get your chin onto the floor, try to sink your chest lower to the floor as well. Enjoy this shoulder stretch. When you're ready, bring them all the way back. Come into a comfortable seat and rock your spine out for a moment. All the way back and all the way back up. Just rock it out. If this doesn't feel good for you, that's fine. You can stay in child's pose. Or you can lie on your back and just squeeze your knees into your stomach. But if this feels good, then very slowly rock yourself. And then become still. For those of you that are particularly tight, you could grab your strap at this point, place it underneath your foot, and just use that strap to pull your knee closer to your body. Your leg doesn't need to be straight at this point, just go as deep as you can. This can help you get a little deeper into the stretch. Pull it as close as you can, as long as you're still comfortable and you're still breathing naturally. Don't forget about the breath. Hold this for a while. It's okay if your leg is still very high up in the air. Again, they will start to loosen with time. You can also place that towel behind your calf and pull it in that way. Just find a place that's comfortable for you. Breathe and enjoy. Let's release that leg back down and swap over. Placing that towel onto the left foot and pulling it in as deep as you can. You might notice that the side's a bit tighter or perhaps even a bit looser than the other side. I often find that my left side's a little bit tighter than my right, and that's okay. The body is not always perfect. Sit with the discomfort as long as it's not pain. The discomfort means change. And as long as it's a comfortable type of a discomfort and you can still breathe, then it's a good thing for your body and it will start to change and develop. When you're ready, pop that towel over to the side and release that leg. Bring your knees up together and perhaps wrap them together once or twice and just let them fall over to one side. Make sure that your head falls to the opposite side that your legs have gone. Put your arms out into a T and enjoy this spinal twist. After all that back bending, it's nice to give the spine a little bit of TLC by twisting and wringing it out. Remember to breathe. Be present and listen to your body. Take a few more breaths here, enjoying the sensations. And when you're ready, breathe in and lift your legs up to the center and swap over. Uncross your legs, cross the other one over the top and let them flop over to the side. If you can, try to let the opposite shoulder get it close to the floor and allow your head to drop the opposite side to your legs. Enjoy this twist. Breathe into those hips and into the lower back. In this position, allow the core to be relaxed. Don't worry about sucking in your belly. This is a moment of relaxation, a moment to enjoy, to allow what you've done for your body to sink in. Breathe and relax. When you're ready, breathe in and bring your feet back up to center. Hug your knees in towards your chest and just give them a little squeeze. Perhaps even bring your forehead to your knees. in the fetal position. Then drop your head back down. For those of you that had a blanket prepared, you can place that underneath your knees to take a little bit of pressure off of your lower back. Have your feet at least hip distance apart, a little bit more than hip distance, and let them flop from side to side. The right flop out to the right and the left out to the left. Keep your face facing up towards the sky and your hands a few inches from your midriff. Your palms facing up towards the sky and your fingers in their natural curve. Breathe here and relax. Feeling the rise and the fall of your belly as you breathe in and you breathe out. Stay present and allow the feeling of everything you've done for your body to sink in. See if you can feel the aliveness in your whole body. Whatever that may mean to you. Maybe a very slight tingle feeling. When you're ready, start to move your feet slowly in circles and your wrists slowly in circles. Stretch up above your head and point your toes. Take a really deep stretch here. Draw your palms into your heart center. I hope you've enjoyed today's practice. Namaste.